Welcome back, ladies and gents, to the channel. New week, new fun, new opportunities, new everything, hopefully. Now, one thing that I think we'd all agree sets this channel apart, certainly in the horse guards realm, is the community focus. Which is why, ladies and gents, it being pretty much the middle of the night, yours and truly is out on the street, sleep deprived, at the ungodly hour of 10:30 a.m. Yeah, I know, I'm shocked myself, guys. But we've got a changeover this morning. Not the regiment, but the group within the regiment. Remember I said on Friday's video, there will be two groups. They will be flipping between duty. So we're heading to the parade ground. Yes, we are, everybody. Wow. I'm surprised anybody bothers to take pictures with this phone box, because look at this. It's actually filled up with trash. Oh my good lord. Shocking. Even some of the other toys have noticed that. I mean, that's just crazy. I mean, I guess this one's out of action. Not only that, it looks like all that rubbish, trash has been there for quite some time. So my man here is slacking. The thing is, he works, I think, for the Foreign Office, so he's almost certainly not going to deal with the phone box, which would be under the purview of Westminster Council, one would think. Which explains why it's a mess, just like pretty much everything else that's council provided. So yeah, we're going to head over, folks, by popular request. Many of you, in fact, mentioned, hey, Lazy John, why didn't you get over and capture the arrival, changeover, and dismount. So here we are, in the Royal District. That bingy bong behind us, bong bong, is, I believe, the 45 bell. Now, you might be wondering, why does this police officer have a pole even bigger than mine in his hand? Well, it's actually a large bolt that drops in, look, to lock the gate solidly closed. Clank. Done. Now, you might be wondering, why on earth have they closed the road? Well, notice these are not just normal, everyday, common gates, everybody. These are royal gates, as denoted by the crest. See? There is a little space for people on electric bikes or on foot to squeeze by, but on days like today, when there is a guard change pending, they close these barriers. Why? Because if we were to continue straight ahead along here, it's Birdcage Walk, everybody, which leads on the left to Wellington Barracks and on the right to the Palace. Yes, that's right. It'd be great to live on Birdcage Walk. Imagine you could watch this kind of stuff all day long, secure inside your police cordon in your 25 or 30 million pound house. Yes, private properties on the left-hand side beyond the trees, folks. Now, I wouldn't say that my timing is outstanding. We might be a little bit early. But what I'm hoping is that we can get in a lovely prime spot, particularly as it's a cooler morning. I mean, it's about 22 now, which, you know, obviously feels like Arctic compared to last week. But it's pretty much ideal temperature for walking and filming, and you can see it's certainly not cold, because a lot of the tourists are also happy without jackets or coats and stuff. Now, the parade ground itself, I'm trying to think how long it's been since I've been at the back for an 11 o'clock. Months. I don't even know if I've done it this year, to be honest. If I did, it was way back at the beginning of the year. So I see it as a bit of a positive, actually, to be here on a nice, relatively quiet morning. For people early for the Churchill War Rooms. We're at the other end of King Charles Street, folks, which we often walk by on the way to Horse Guards. And that really is one of the finest looking streets in all of London, is it not? Yeah. It really is quite a spectacular thing to look at. All of it. so it might be a teeny bit at least. What I'm hoping to do is get to the parade ground. Obviously I'm in no rush, and then choose a decent spot and just wait. In other words, you're going to have a very close to absolutely authentic tourist experience here at Horse Guards Parade on this lovely Monday morning. Yes, guys, I can already hear. Actually, what am I talking about? Of course I can already hear. I was going to say the drumming down at the palace. It's remarkable that it travels this far up. But yes, they're in the process of the guard change at Buckingham Palace right now. Now, I'm hoping, as it's so lovely, the majority of people will not have decided they want to be here at Horse Guards. In other words, it should be reasonably chill. I mean, one never knows, folks. As I am a teeny bit early, I'll show you how beautiful it is here. And yes, you are allowed to walk across the grass, and no, there are no get off the grass or don't walk on the grass signs. Something Duck Cottage. How many times have I walked past this and said I forgot the name of it, and then you post it in the comments. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember it now. And here we are again. Imagine living there, folks. That's got to be one of the most privileged locations. It feels like you're in a little village in England, but you're bang in the centre of super secure London. Do not feed the birds. It doesn't really tend to stop the tourists, to be quite honest. I think Monday evening before last, when it was very warm, I was here in the park, and we were surprised because the ducks were nibbling away. And normally they sort of run in the opposite direction, but they were nibbling, actively seeking food and not being shy about it. But that is a rather beautiful sight, is it, folks, for the start to a video. And here they are, look, they're not even scared of me. Hey, wait. I thought I'd use the royal oi, but no, the duck doesn't seem concerned. We've got a smattering of tourists on the parade ground, which is a welcome surprise, but really, really lovely light this morning, folks. I'm sure you'd all agree. Try and get myself over there just before the police horse outriders. I think we're okay time-wise. I think it's probably roughly 10 to now, give or take. But it really is quite the soothing sight, is it not, guys? Bearing in mind this is not one of my favourite London parks, but it is spectacular nonetheless. The only problem is too many tourists. I mean, like, way too many. It's the most touristy park in London by far. Now, Horse Guards Parade Ground itself is looking like a bit of a mess, solely because of the fact that they're busy dismantling the seating for Trooping the Colour. That's now done, and they'll be constructing a new, more intimate seating, far closer to the centre than present for Beating Retreat, which is next month. I think over 3 evenings in July. Will I be going? Maybe. We'll see. So this is what all of the tourists get to see, everybody. We've got the first 4 King's Troop Royal Horse Artillery gunners already here. They're lined up, waiting for their replacements, who obviously are going to be here pretty damn soon, if they've already left the yard to come and line up. Now, it has been a while since I've done this, been here. I'd like to get it reasonably right, so I think what we'll do is we'll stay a little teeny bit back to be able to see as clearly as possible the arrival of the new gunners. That way we know exactly who's coming over. We'll see everyone's face, and then I'll try and dash into the yard real quick if I can, to get us decent-ish footage of the dismount, at least of the first group, and then the move to the boxes. Now, I don't need to worry, or we don't need to worry about this number of people for two reasons. One, we're not going to try and get into the crowd because there's no actual reasons to do so, because they're going to be approaching from behind me, the mall that is. But I'm hearing, you might have picked up guys, it's pretty breezy today, so apologies, that's going to be a mush for the audio. There's quite a lot of clattering and banging and so on over there whilst the construction is happening. Friday morning, right, Friday morning. Much earlier than last year. Yeah. But this is their first change. So they've got two groups that are changing every 3 days. So this is the first change.
I was at Windsor because I was seeing all the carriages and that going to Ascot. So that's why I didn't come up.
Busy, eh? I'm very busy.
It's been a busy week. I've been busy all month now.
To be fair, I mean, there's a hell of a lot going on in the past 4, 5, 6 weeks. I mean, it's a bit annoying that it's so windy this morning, but hopefully it won't. Hopefully it won't kick off with the horses. Yep. Okay.
Long guard tomorrow, then, mightn't it? Wednesday with these on?
I'm certainly hoping so. I'm not sure if we've ever caught a long guard. Have we? We must have got a long guard at some point last year when they were here.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah.
Seen Charlie recently?
Don't ask.
Like that, yeah. Okay.
I don't know. I ain't got a clue, mate.
I'll message him. I hope he's alright though, that's what matters.
It's alright, it's just...
Busy.
He's gone off doing this stuff now, isn't he? He's got his football or he's got something else.
First we lost Brandon, now Charlie. First we lost Brandon.
He's pretty much finding it come up then.
No, he's very busy though. I see him doing a lot of RAF stuff. Okay folks, so they're just arriving. We've got a very, very solid crowd actually. Very, very solid crowd here this morning. Once I've managed to capture them kind of running into the camera, the other side to Colin, he and I will be on opposing sides. I will dash round as quick as I can to try and get in the yard. I'm just trying to remember actually, there's no reason why the yard is not accessible. Gates are open. Yeah, I think we're likely good overall. Okay, let's get ourselves a little bit. I'm not going to go too far away from the building, otherwise it's going to be a real pain to kind of run back again. The first horse, that's the first police horse, folks. No point in leaving us too much zoomed in because the quality is going to deteriorate. But what have we got? 8, 9, 10? I can't really see how many gunners. Good solid group. But the reason this is key is to see who we've got in the second group. We've got a very good idea of who's in the first group. We didn't see all of them, but we saw at least 6, 7, 8. So that's Colin over there with the backpack, and there's our regular Barry who's just turning up as well. Now, we've got two problems this morning. Not only is it very breezy, as you can probably hear and see, but the other issue is in fact, there are really two issues going on. Because of the breeze, the problem we've got is one, very high pollen count. Not a major issue for me, but let's hope we don't get all coffee again, and the same with the tourists. And two, there's a hell of a lot of dust blowing up all over the place. It is a real mess this morning. Yeah, it's a real mess. They saw you, say like, get out of the way, you.
Yeah. You already shouted at me as I crossed the road.
Oh, did she? Oh, goodness me. She doesn't have VIP when she sees one. Oh, she? Wait, it's a he, it's a gent. I'm thinking he's not strong enough to move all these tourists with one arm.
The lady cop on a bike up the road.
On a bike?
Bleeding head off.
Typical Monday morning. Okay, so here come the gunners, folks. I'm not going to take the you-know-whats by getting too close. But we would obviously like to see, ideally, who we've got. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold on a flipping minute, guys. I am absolutely appalled. There's not a single gent. Now, you would not have believed it, would you?
All women?
All women.
Yeah.
It's a completely female affair. How's about that, folks? Yeah, going to try and dash around ASAP now to the tunnel. Now that's a bit of a turn up, isn't it? Yeah, all female, even the NCO. Wow. Could that be a historical first? I mean, I don't know, but it's certainly very surprising, is it not? Golly. I mean, I did email them and tell them I'd be out this morning, but I wasn't expecting such a special lineup, my darlings. That's quite the surprise. Could this be the first time ever, possibly, we've had a solely female? Is it closed?
No, I don't know.
Oh, flip, you scared the life out of me then. Morning.
I got called out the other week, so I always check now.
Okay, thank goodness for that. Alright, I got suddenly worried then. It looked as though the was running low to get out of the Chinese tour group, that they missed it. But oh no! And I can understand why. Okay, so we're in the yard. So it's going to go over to the VIP corner. Hopefully, I'll be okay and allowed to stay here. And we can get what should... Oh, hold on a second. One horse already had a meltdown. Didn't take long, did it? Look. Probably because this horse knows it's home time. Not just about to finish the shift, but about to actually finish 3 days here at Horse Guards. Slightly in an elevated heart rate, in fact, after that bit of a dash. Okay, anyway, here comes the orderly to help him out. Horse is not a happy boy. We're not going to run to the front, folks, because there's no point. We're in a good spot here, and the police have seen me, and I think I'm okay to stay here. So the orderly is going to help to bring this horse back in. I mean, it doesn't mean the horse will stay in the box, but hopefully he will, or she will. I did post in the comments in response to one view yesterday a not insubstantial list of horse names that I already have for the King's Troop. They're split into different, I can't remember how it was described to me, not genres, but there are 6 subsections. Each one names their horse under a certain theme. We've got like video games, food, footballers, cars, blah 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 blah. So we've got names like Tesla, Neymar the footballer, burrito, popcorn, Zelda, the Nintendo game, blah 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 blah. Optimus Prime is another one. They've got some very very curious, and they are curious. I have no hesitation in saying that. Very curious. I wonder where this dude was going, but then I just realised he is a member of the King's Troop, and he's allowed to be here. So that's that would make perfect sense. It's a funny thing though, because when people march in these days toward the archways and so on, I'm kind of like, because normally before everyone used to show their army ID to the gatesman or the chitsman. One small problem: we don't have a gatesman or a chitsman anymore. Okay, coming. Okay. Right, they're coming, folks. Here we have the first possible ever 100% female King's Lifeguard performed by the King's Troop Royal Horse Artillery. 1, 2, 3. Oh, all 3 of these ladies I recognise from last year. Actually, I just forgot. There's me expecting 6 or 7. Sorry, folks. Completely forgot that we don't have the numbers we used to have. No dismount either. That's interesting. No idea why, but actually, I do have an idea why. They don't typically dismount, do they, when they first arrive? The second group dismounts. Anyway, that second group are not going to be in for ages. Now, the good news, in fact, the very good news, potentially, I'll move in a second to the front, is that because the 3 ladies we've just seen arrive were here last year. I mean, 2 of them I recognise very, very well straight away. Third, I'm reasonably certain she was here last year. Point is, because we've got experienced faces, familiar faces, everything should be pretty smooth and dandy. There's me standing there waiting for like the rest of them, and I suddenly forgot, hold on, there's only going to be 3, and there won't be a dismount anyway.
No, it doesn't look good now, does it?
It's not quite as regal as it once was. No offence to the gunners, but yeah, I think somebody needs to have a word with the palace and see if they can rustle up a few coins to restore the original numbers. I think viewers, you would all agree with me, would you not? We need to go back to. It's not the same, is it?
No. But I don't agree with this out the front. you know what we were talking about the other day about maybe it being temporary in here. They could do with bringing the thing back in here, save all that melee out the front there.
It would certainly deal with the issue of, and I've advocated this many times, people filming, myself included, because either they decide everyone gets banned, which is fine, I'll accept that, or they decide they're going to background check and license, I don't know, 5 or 6 people, which I think would be the better solution.
What I mean is just bring the crowds inside here to see the horses.
Yeah.
I don't know why the council agreed to those boxes, because the bloody pavement get packed out.
Yeah, it's a
People
huge
pushed out onto the road.
typical anachronism. You know, we have these kind of things with planning laws and everything else, don't we? It's just a flipping mess.
Yeah.
Anyway, good to see those 3 were returnees. They were here last year, so I think they're going to be pretty.
Oh, the young black woman. I saw the 2 videos.
Oh yeah,
Friday
yeah.
shouting her head off all the time.
And yesterday nothing.
Nothing. So
Yeah.
You didn't find out what happened.
My money's on the fact that there was a little rat Filipino lady that's here occasionally, who was the one that reposted the crying gunner video last year after that had been removed. Fat Man at the front was the one that originally posted it, but after it was removed, that little Filipino woman put it up a couple of times until there was a lot of pressure and she removed it. I'm pretty sure the gunner that was in that video quit the King's Troop. She will not be back. She's out. I had enough. So she's out of the King's Troop. Wouldn't surprise me at all if our lady who was here yesterday in the box and was quiet was a good friend of. I know I could be speculating, but it would make perfect sense because on Friday that little rat was not here, but she was yesterday, right in front of her for pretty much her entire shift. So my money's on that.
Didn't give her any footage of anything.
That's exactly what I'm thinking. You know what? And I support her in that. But that little rat, I'm going to put in a future video anyway, so it's all under control. Anyway, see you later. Yeah, folks, that's my take on it. But then I said that kind of in a roundabout way yesterday. Again, these things are speculative on my part. They're not official. They're not even semi-official. They're what I think is the case based on people I've spoken to, things that I know, and also it's a very, very peculiar coincidence that the one time a certain undesirable turns up, the guard goes completely mute. Now, one thing is a real pity is this fine-looking fellow, this gent here, we didn't get to see him this weekend. Now, I dare say he was probably out in the afternoon shifts, possibly late Saturday, possibly late yesterday, but we didn't see him. So it's actually a real pleasure to be here early, to see some more new faces. Yeah. Now, I don't remember if we saw him last year, folks. Honestly, can't remember. Now, we've got our favourite happy Chinese tour groups here. This lady's 1 footstep away from getting shouted at. And that's going to be very tutti-frutti. Oh, yeah, the Chinese are popping themselves very close to the line, as they're apt to do. Here they come, look. It's a flipping invasion, look. Oh, straight away, he's like out of the box. Get out the box. Okay, this bro with glasses, Chow Yun-fat Senior, who actually was my favourite ever actors. I know he's a Hong Kong actor, but there we are. He just pointed out the line. Now, one thing I do admire, much as I sometimes laugh about it, is how enthusiastic they are when they visit. Okay, like exceedingly enthusiastic. Yes, sometimes things go wrong, but the enthusiasm is it's infectious. I have to admit, everybody, it is genuinely infectious. Yeah, no other nationality that comes here is so overtly excited by the King's Guard. Yeah, it's an extraordinary thing. And I get it, I actually do get it, folks, because weird as it might sound, if I were, I don't know, in Tiananmen Square or whatever, I'd be overjoyed to see something completely new and original. And I've mentioned many, many times about how much I would love to see at some point, and possibly even shoot a series of China vlogs. Anyway, we'll see. Okay, so first 2 gunners are about to come and take their spots in the boxes. Bear in mind, these 2 ladies that are about to enter the boxes, this will be their first time on duty this year. Okay, they're not returnees, this is their first time in 2025 as King's Lifeguard gunners. Even the orderly is a lady. Look. Oh, other horse is having a little bit of a moment this morning. Look, he's not a happy boy. Police officers like, what a flipping... It is chaos here, folks. We need more bodies. Actually, the other gunner's a gent as well at the other end. Okay, so off goes horsey number 1, who's very chill. As indeed is his rider. Yeah, everyone's not happy at all, look. Okay, so in Group 1, or Group A, which arrived Friday morning and have just, that was their final 2 gunners coming off, just finished. In that Group A, we saw, as I remember, 3 gents. The fellow we saw in the box many times, and those 2 gents. So, interesting to see that the first group is so mixed, but this second group is 100% female. Oh, here they come again. Yeah, this gunner, recognise her. 100% she was in last year's footage. Year before, I can't remember. But obviously I'm already thinking to myself, oh, what in the Chinese hell? What on earth? I don't get it. Oh, 10 people ran forward at once. What a mush. Where's she going? Hello, maybe like wait for the kids, no? What the flip? Okay. I mean, what can we say, folks? Now, she didn't touch the horse, but she was 1 foot over the line. Now, a lot's going to depend on the difference in response between this gunner and the other one. We'll try to cover both, as it's our first day seeing both. But what on earth? Flipping hell. If they get any more enthusiastic, even the horses have enough. He's just like, get away from me. Oh my goodness me. Her body language was absolutely hilarious. What the flip? I mean, I think the horse is already like, you know what, I didn't sign up for this. Yeah, he's done, he's off. And I couldn't say I blame him, in all honesty. Bro, don't touch the horse. I'm glad that I strapped my my little sun hat, folks, to my chin today, because I tell you what, it would end up flying off to Trafalgar Square. See, elderly lady to my left, telling her young charges, I don't want to see you anywhere near that, i.e. the line. See, respect isn't dead, folks. It's just massively absent in Chinese tour groups visiting London. Bro, hello. Wow, I mean, just wow. I am very much surprised by what we just saw. That was complete and utter chaos. If that had been a much larger group, say, I don't know, 56s we sometimes get here, things would have been just absolutely bonkers. We'll have a look at the other end in a minute. Interesting enough, the horse at the other end is a much darker horse. Now, it could be my polarized glasses, but we do know they've got 2 different types of, actually not different types, 2 different, very, very different coloured horses. We've got those lighter bays and the slightly darker horses that look an almost mahogany-esque colour, and are somewhat larger. So, what do you mean larger? I'm big enough. Yes, you are, my little friend. Busy, also busy scaring the life out of the teenagers on the left with his little sneezes. So, I must try my very hardest, folks, to dash in if we see the second group arriving coming into the yard. Now, there's no guarantees we will, but yours truly will do his very best to get in there to film them if I can. Now this horse so far has been pretty good. Oh, hold on, look at this. I didn't know they were shooting a new Jet Li movie here at Horse Guards today. Look, Jet Li bro over here. Now is he going to go in front of the box? Probably not, which is a shame. Okay, so here we are at the other end. I'm not going to go too kind of centre on yet because the fun groups are arriving at the other end. Bearing in mind we're really early as well. It's 11:15, just coming up to 11:15. Now that we're actually at this end, I wouldn't put my money on whether this is a returnee gunner or a new face. Yeah, straight away I'm not thinking, hold on a second, I recognise her. So of the 3 that came in, 200% are returnees. I think this lady is a new addition. Let's see if we can get a decent picture of the horse. Oh, sorry, thank you. Because that really is quite beautiful looking horse, is it not, guys? It's fairly unusual as well, in King's Troop terms. Let me see if I can get us a decent picture. It's a funny thing actually, everyone. You remember when I was saying like about the spammers being here all day? I didn't mean it in a literal sense. I kind of thought maybe like 11:30 until maybe like 3 or 4. But the usual typical obsessives are already here. Can you imagine that? I bet they've been here since 10 o'clock. It's so sad. Imagine spending 5 or 6 hours a day here just for some little clips. It's just. But then again, I guess if your content has no substance or narration, all you can do is hope for sensationalism. We don't need to worry about that though, everyone. Okay, let's see if we can get a decent picture of this horse looking happy. I don't think that the horse is going to look at the camera. Hello? Nope. Obviously he's not going to look at that camera. Flipping sunlight, right? Everything's perfect. No, it would have been nice to get a kind of library of all the horses that were here. Actually, that isn't a bad shot right now. There we go, done. Okay, we'll move because there's no one at this end. Tourist-wise, there's not a single person. Now, we'll almost certainly have 2 parts today. The second part might not be a full part, but it should be at least the second part. Why? Because I'm very keen, obviously, to see which 2 come on next, although that's going to be happening in circa 45 minutes, so we'll need a part 2 anyway. To see which gun is replaced. They're very efficient actually with the changeover, folks. I mean, they're in the boxes by 11:10, which is somewhat surprising, is it not? In a very good way. But I'm glad we caught the arrival because, to be honest, the key thing, to my mind, is not knowing if we're capturing something that is historically important. Oh. So, girl, even if you paid me to what? I'm not sure if I filmed this in, like, get in the box. She said I wouldn't do that even if you paid me to. I didn't hear the first part of the conversation. Well, guess US tourists. Oh yeah, nice and bright and sunny as well, folks. Look, lots of people coming out the yard. These are the ones that didn't want to go to the palace this morning. But now with the smattering of numbers, you can see why moi, yours truly, typically arrives here somewhat later, just about getting to position before the crowds. Oh yeah. Lady gave a little bow. All good? Yeah. Caught it very, very, very clearly as they were kind of riding from the mall over the playground through the tunnel as well. Although I think still at the back. Yeah. Which is probably a bit annoying for her. Fancy she's still in the playground, but at least it's not boiling hot. Because I couldn't imagine what it'd be like to sit there and 30 degrees on.
Yeah.
But all right.
I realise it's half an hour there. They have to wait as well.
Yeah, massively so.
So we'll catch them coming through here, and then they go into the stables, presume to the right.
Now, what I'm hoping, again, there's no 100% guarantee. Typically, the second group, when they come in, they line up and then dismount and lead the horses into the stable.
Right, okay.
Again, no guarantees, but that's how it was before. So I'll definitely be trying to rush into. Best spot is under the lamp on the corner there.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And if the police do say anything to you, then just tell them who you are and then straight away.
He's done whatever you want. Well,
I
you
see.
get
You,
it.
well, of course you do. You deserve VIP privileges. She looked really confident. I think she's going to smash it.
Oh, she's there.
Yeah.
Watch this one get trapped.
Yep. Thank you. Okay, folks. Yeah. So this horse. I mean, look at the light. I need to put out the camera ASAP. 1 second. Yeah. So the second group, alas, are having to sit. I mean, at least they're sitting and not standing, like the soldiers at the palace, are having to sit. On the oh, now the horse has turned his head away. Like, don't take pictures of me. I like my privacy. I don't want you to exploit it, John. This one's a real beauty, look. Giving us a little cheeky almost. There we are. There it is. Right in the camera. Giving us a little kind of a cheeky almond side eye. Oh wow! Actually, the picture of the horse looking at the camera, folks, is a real beautiful one. Today's horsey pictures of the day will be great ones, better even than Friday's. And I think this is partly the reason why the horse is not happy. It is it's very, very breezy, folks. And luckily, so far the junk isn't blowing up into the air. I'm not struggling with my speech, but if it carries on like this, it's going to be that way for sure. Okay, let's go back to the other end. Now this horse, I'm sure we'd all agree, has a blaze that is very, 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 very reminiscent of Ormonde, is it not? In fact, exceptionally reminiscent of Ormonde. Now, I'm keeping an eye on the clock because I'm hoping we've got about 6 or 7 minutes until we're going to get the second group coming in for the dismount. Things I forgot now actually how many there were. Well, there's 7. I think there were 7. Plus the NCO, which means we should have 4 dismounting. The problem is that the wind is really, 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 really strong this morning. Although it might be a little bit easier in the yard. It's a funny thing actually, for some reason, I do remember last summer I used to get here quite early, like around, some days I used to get here for 10 when they started, but most days around 10:30 to 11, and it would always be really, really, really busy. So much as tourist season this year is fairly similar, and occasionally even busier than last year, overall, I would argue, visitor numbers are stable, if not somewhat down, vis-a-vis the yard and so on. Yeah. We've just had, police have told them quickly, those people wandering into the stables, and see them in the back. Yeah. But then it makes sense because I think a hell of a lot of the usual tour guides might quickly pass the front here, but the Horse Guards is no longer going to be a major staging point for a chat and a rest. Sadly. Yeah. I don't see it anymore. And in fact, several of the big groups from last year are not here. Wouldn't surprise me if they chopped Horse Guards from their itinerary. I mean, at least most of the tourists are being kind of wary, I guess, of the presence of the box. Yeah, you can hear the coughing started. I'm a teeny bit throaty. It's so flipping annoying when it's like this because there's so much detritus that builds up on the ground in London when it's dry, and you get a windy day and everything is airborne. There. I've actually got a cycling mask. I'm such a fool, and then again I look stupid wearing it. I probably should have thought about a solution for these windy, dirty days. Even the dried horse video will be airborne. There's a lot of it here this morning. Now, bear in mind the box would have been swept last night. The first 2 horses made a hell of a mess. The 2 horses that we got when we first arrived were the first 2 of the day. So they've made a massive amount of mess already. Morning privilege, I guess. Why is no one smiling? They're just like, oh, okay, then take the picture. No smiles. Nope. Look at this polo, bro. Nice one. See how the guys did like a ninja bow when he saw the camera. Very good reactions. I wish I had reactions that fast. Fantastic. Now the thing is, if we don't get a single person at either end going anywhere near the lines and over them, we've got no way of gauging what sort of enforcement we can expect for this particular group, Group B. Oh. Okay, so in the yard, that's the first group leaving to join their colleagues at the rear. Now it makes sense because it's 25 past. But remember before we used to have how many? 5 or 6 troopers, gunners in that secondary group. No more, folks. Yeah, I'll head into the yard in just a minute and try and get on the VIP spot. I really do hope, especially if we're waiting there for a few minutes for it to happen, that we will get a dismount. I can't think of why we wouldn't get a dismount. I haven't seen any of the King's Troop arrival this year, so I've got no clue if they're doing it the same as typically or whether or not they've been told, you know what, skip it, go straight into the stables. Because the other thing that hasn't transpired this year, which we did see quite a bit of last year, I'm going to move into the yard now, is officers. We didn't see officers, did we? No, we didn't. What I mean, well, for example, last summer and the summer that preceded 2023, we had the King's Troop Royal Horse Artillery officers, NCOs and officers and commissioned officers, so like the lieutenants and the captains would be here kind of looking around in the yard a few days before the King's Troop arrived. And also, if you remember back to those classic videos, they would also be chatting with and interacting with the public. We've got that amazing video which I try and dig out with the lieutenant in the King's Troop coming to the front and answering questions from the public. Those golden days, folks, which somewhat, at least for the time being, appear to have gone. I'm trying to think, in fact, where is the best spot for the dismount? Is it here? Or over on the side? Actually, I think I will go onto the side with the lamp. Yeah, I think that will be the smart option. Because from here, we should be able to clearly get each of the gunners dismounting and then taking the horses, leading them into the stable area. I mean, that's the hope, folks. Now, let me have a look at the phone, see how long we've got. 3 minutes, according to this. So it is a little bit unfortunate we need to wait, but you know what? Better to get in here now than be stuck at the front and miss it. And this will likely be, especially as I'll be leaving for holiday, not in the too distant future, one of the final times we get to see this. Okay, so they're coming into the yard, just entering in now. And then hopefully, check the dismount. Gunner 1, Gunner 2, Gunner 3, Gunner 4, and the NCO. Yep, we've got a good spot. I'm happy with that. shouts are better than the gents.
All together. Do all of it, Daisy.
Brilliant. Couple of new faces, definitely in that group. How's about that? Done. That was very clean. I would say, folks. I mean, it was flawless, was it not?
Continue through.
At least two were new faces. Absolutely perfect. I would say overall. Yeah, I think that went absolutely perfectly. Now we've got a massive flood. Look at this. Trying to zoom out a little bit. Really good to see the police officer we all like and hugely respect, who's been the star of so many videos back. Been a few weeks actually since he was last here, so that's also a huge positive. Look at this tour guide. He used to go to Royal Ascot.
Mounted sentries. You look up at the clock.
Ex-military. Definitely knows his stuff, there's no doubt about that. I can tell you straight off. Yeah, ex-military man. Okay, so here we are back at the front. And again, I don't really know what to expect, folks, because we're going to need to wait and see with this giant flood. Let's wait for my man to move here. Giant flood of people out the gate, look at it. Thumbs up for the King's Troop Royal Horse Artillery. Damn, the crowd built up fast now. Bear in mind this is most of the people that are at the back on the parade ground.
Sorry.
Damn, bro, it just like blocked the sunlight. The thing is though, even with all of these people that came out, and there are a lot here, sorry, go ahead. It still doesn't necessarily equate to there being a lot of people going in the horse for pictures. That, folks, is only when the palace crowd arrive. Oh yeah. Can I stroke him? Hello, maybe look to your left. Junior's question of the week. Can I touch the horse? Wild guess, people, what do we think? Any clues or possible visual indicators that will answer that question? Obviously not, so I'm guessing they might need to update the signage here just so that British people like that lady are aware of the rules. Would be a bad idea, would it?
He likes Brenda. No, because when I already enter afraid of the ash, and I think
Starting to worry whether the horses brought something with them. Maybe they were sprayed with tourist repellent.
It don't make no sense you stay there, so if you're not going, don't bother. Then don't take it. Just don't take it, because you're not going to get the horse tonight.
She's scared of the horse.
Yeah, that's what she's going to make the horse kick.
Brilliant. I mean, at least she's honest about it. You can tell the ones that are super nervous anyway, folks. Body language is so kind of, get me out of here. ASAP. Fair's fair. I mean, as long as we get a fairly decent stream of people. But as I mentioned, folks, we will have a little bit more time here than usual due to the early arrival. Oh yes, yeah. Plus now we've ticked the done box for the purists who were missing. I was thinking, I hope these two know each other. Who were missing the dismount. Now, neither of the gunners at this end or the lady at the other end have had any reason to move the horse, shout, or indeed even raise their voice yet. But you know what? I've got a horrible feeling that will not be lasting as we get closer to noon and the palace crowd. This lady recognises there is a square.
Mom, stop blocking the camera.
I'd actually argue that a lot of the tourists underdressed today, folks. It's low 20s, but a lot of people dress like it's flipping 35. A lot of these groups, tour groups that are being led out of the front gates, are being taken straight away. They're not hanging around. Group leaders are asking if they want pictures and stuff. It's kind of sad to see in a way, but kind of predictable as well, I guess. Very odd. Everyone's scattered. Uh-oh, one second, somebody's gone into the stables. I saw the police officer dart over. It's funny, guys, because look, if we turn the camera this way, look at them all. But for some reason, yeah, they're all hanging way back. Definitely thinking the King's troop injected or sprayed the horses with something that keeps the tourists away. Very odd, to be fair. It's not what we normally would expect or see here on a Monday morning. That said, the horse looks happy, so it's not all bad, is it? Come on, folks, roll up. That's it. Purple hair in the house. Let's actually move to the other end, folks, because despite all these people, you can see that they're largely choosing to ignore the fact there is the horse. I mean, it's good for the horse, but it's good for the gunner as well, in all honesty, but not terribly good for you, the viewer. Okay, so back at this end. Oops. But one small problem. There were no tourists here either. We're going to have to rustle some up. Any ideas, folks? How do we rustle up some tourists? Go to the palace and say they're handing out free cash at horse guards. Makes you wonder, actually, thinking about it, what the spammers hope to try and achieve by being here so early. I'm guessing horse meltdown, a horse falling or something going on the parade ground. which, to be fair, those things do happen pretty frequently. Even Colin's waiting in the yard. Wow, actual tourists, I'm shocked. Although, to be honest, guys, not only is it super breezy, but the sun's now vanished. Maybe like get on the back of the horse and take a selfie. Yeah, no whisper of either an officer or an NCO in the yard. It's funny though, because I really thought at that point the army was smashing it, certainly in terms of PR and engagement with the public. And when they came up with this idea of needing to potentially pay recruits $10,000 a year to stay, was I think mooted in the media last week. That's an interesting thing, because I think to myself, instead of chucking all the extra money at it, there are more sensible ways of dealing with it, i.e. PR, positive PR. Front is completely chock-a-block, folks, so I'm hoping it will start to change. It better flipping change if I'm going to do a part 2. Oh, bobble hat in this weather. I mean, at least it's a Union flag bobble hat. That's got to be a huge positive, I would argue. Look at them all, for goodness sake. No, he's not a member of the King's Troop. Pretty sure he's not anyway. I thought maybe then my entire argument was going to be shot down and we'd had an NCO come out to speak to the public. Oh, got a new Robinson Crusoe. It's a US version.
Could you tighten up picture?
I mean, of the, I don't know how many hundred people we've got here, look at them all. It's very, very surprising that more are not coming over, is it not? It's like, what are they doing here if they're not going to take pictures of themselves and their friends? I've got no idea what this bro is bringing me to my ride. You can see how breezy it is, folks. I actually kind of feel sorry for tourists that hit this week, because look at the difference in terms of the lighting conditions and everything. The picture's not going to be the same without the sun. Could this be the first video where no one has had to say a single word? Oh, we've got a senior officer who's not, I believe, in the King's troop. 1 second. No, she's heading over toward the MOD actually.
Keep looking, you know I'm going to take steer. He put his hand down. Just one more.
That's in fact very senior officer. Notting Hill tote bag. Whoever printed those for like £2 and sold them for £20 was a genius. I see them everywhere, those tote bags. That's more like it. What I am thinking now, actually, guys, in all honesty, is based on how many we've got here now, and the fact that we're nowhere near Palace time, I'm thinking it could be a bit of a smasher for part 2. Let's see. Hello. There's always one, isn't there? Every single time, there's always one. Damn, I mean, she got super excited by the horse now. What the hell is this? She just cycled across the Arabian desert. Now the good thing is that the gunner did speak up. The lady got way too close to the horse. I think, to be honest, she just got a little bit too excited when she came out of the gates, it would appear. Yeah, hence strolling straight over in a very odd way. To bend down because she can't see the horse. Guy's too tall. I mean, to be fair, it's true. He's very, very tall.
Oh, sorry, I loved it. Yeah, sorry. No worries. Yes.
Oh, awkward. Very awkward. Now we've got a couple of hippies here today, look. Pity they're not come over for pictures. Got 13 minutes of the changeover. So what we'll do is we will resume. We'll start a part 2, resume filming. We'll start a part 2 at the other end. Stay there for the changeover to see which 2 gunners we get, and then do our usual thing of swapping between. Yeah, they're just not, as you can see, they're not the tourist that is, they're not coming forward in large numbers. Let's go back to the other end, folks. You can see it's absolutely flipping packed here. Look at them all. Now, I and others are having to walk in the road due to the numbers. So it's nothing to do with the shortage. I think it's really to do with perception here. In other words, where are you allowed to go, and where is everybody else? But we'll squeeze ourselves in as usual. Damn, it suddenly got flipping rammed at this end. In fact, it's beyond rammed. Okay, seems like some of the ladies left half their outfit at home today. Frozen family phenomenon, folks. You need a horse guard. The family turns up, stand next to the box, freeze there, possibly try and touch the horse and then wander off. Now the lucky thing for these two lady gunners is that they pulled the shortest shift of the day. Yep, 45-minute shift, which is coming to an end in under 10 minutes. I think we're probably in the best spot, not only for now on this changeover, but for the potential deluge after. Bro, flipping out. This will be our last few guys for part one.
Yeah, that's okay. You can get it.
All good. Like, make your mind up, everyone. Where are we going? It's okay. I mean, it's got a little bit active, guys, on the left. Yikes.
एक हॉर्स गार्ड आतमध्ये ते कारण हॉर्स गार्ड म्युझियम किंगचं जे हॉर्स गार्ड आहेत ना
Yes. Marches straight in and starts giving apple to the horse. I mean, there's no sign that says that you can't feed the horse, folks, I have to say. I know you don't approve of this, but there is no sign. Plus the gunner smiling. Could well be a relative. I mean, I don't know, but there it is. Yep. My money's on not necessarily relative, but that lady I'm sure is known to the trooper. Body language. And to be fair, the horse really enjoyed the apples. Interesting. Took us over time a little bit, but you know what? We'll leave it rolling for a couple of minutes and then start part 2, I think. Actually, let me just check. I'm not in any particular rush, so yeah, we'll give it a couple more minutes and then we'll start on part 2, my dears. That was unusual. Oh, hold on, someone else, look. It's got kind of a squashed piece of apple. It's just like, you're really spoiling me today. Wow. I know a lot of you are going to be hypercritical of this, but at the end of the day, the person sitting on the horse gets to decide whether or not the horse is fed. And she made her decision, so I think it's best we all respect it, whether we disagree with it or not. Okay, that's a very interesting outfit. It's got to be some kind of like fashion school graduation project with these girls. Come on, it's got to be. Chinese. Certainly an eclectically dressed bunch of ladies. Yeah, it's got to be a fashion school day out or graduation picture, I think. You wouldn't get this many fashionable people randomly in a tour group.
你这可以别摸马就行，没事没事，你站在旁边就行，都站在旁边。
I'm not necessarily saying like, you know, or dress fashion group, but interesting nonetheless.
OK。行。这离近点儿。
Now, luckily, this particular gunner hasn't had to tell anybody to move themselves, not once, in fact, during our almost 50-minute shift. I think this lady with the hat will be our last tourist for this part 1, folks, but we'll be back shortly for part 2, as promised. On that note, back shortly. Bye for now.